For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. NewsSpin calling, 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 calling. Across the land, all across the world, echoes of voices, we join hand in hand. Harmony rise in the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Truth from St. Lucia to sandy shores, from cities and hills to the Caribbean breeze. We sing together, hearts at ease, education to open every mind. Learn about your country, leave no one behind. When we NewsSpin is on your radio, come along hands in hands, voices in unity, singing loud. NewsSpin, News the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. St. Lucian's heart to the world's every land. Knowledge unites us hand in hand. Yeah, Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. Tim on NewsSpin call, bridging gaps between us all. Voices lift on high, under one sky we unify. NewsSpin is on education for all, from city streets to mountains tall. Learn your history, share your dreams. Together we light the world with our flame. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world. Yeah, NewsSpin is the best, better than all talk show, most monitored talk show in the world.
NewsSpin is the best. Listen up. NewsSpin is the best. Me say listen up massive. NewsSpin is the best, yeah. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitored talk show all across the world. Check the signal, it blaze up the airwave. NewsSpin on your radio, hear me now. Tune in the frequency. the play.
NewsSpin is the best.
Listen to the masses.
Spin is the best.
Knowledge must abound.
NewsSpin is the best.
And say more knock a play way.
NewsSpin is the best.
Papa Bond, yeah, by team, all man. Across the land, all across the globe, echoes of voices, we join in hand. Harmony rising with the afternoon sun, come along. NewsSpin has begun, NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show, the most conscious monitor talk show in the world. The true facts about Sophia volcano, Sandy Beach, banana and Sneem Malmo. Voices from the chat room, the capital Castries Hills. We feel the warm Caribbean breeze, teaching the truth, making hearts feel ease. Knowledge must open up every mind. Learn about your island home, we leave no one behind.
NewsSpin on your radio.
Pull up the volume, Jay.
NewsSpin on your radio.
Pull up your seats.
Afternoon time.
NewsSpin on your radio. Come along, come along.
NewsSpin on your radio.
Let the message strong. Say lose your heartbeat strong. Shouts out to Tim. On the NewsSpin call. Bridging gaps between the youth and the elders. We stand tall. Voices lift up high, high, high. Under one island sky we unify. NewsSpin is an education for all.
He said,
From city streets to mountain stars.
forward.
Learn your history, share your dreams. Together we light the world with our hymns.
NewsSpin is the best.
Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the world.
To entertain you before we get into some serious business. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. NewsSpin is on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until about, let's say about 5 minutes after 2 o'clock or thereabout. And we have Jante. She is in studio already going through the comments in the chat rooms. And I'll be taking your calls momentarily at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. We trust that you had yourself an enjoyable weekend and you're all set for an exciting week. It ought to be very, very, very exciting because there are some critical issues that we need to discuss, at least on this broadcast. And as somebody just urged us over the weekend, do not be distracted. Do not lose focus. It is very, very important that we stay on course.
Stay focused. That's how a lot of us didn't go to high school. We in our class, see the teacher teaching. As we hear music, we hear, we turn our head already. We lose focus. Stay focused. Stay focused. That's how a lot of us didn't go to high school. We in our class, see the teacher teaching. As we hear music, we hear, we turn our head already. We lose focus. Stay focused.
So let me take you to a statement that was issued by the Office of the Prime Minister over the weekend. And it has to do with government minister being taken into police custody. And that release emanating from the office of the Prime Minister, and it dates Friday, July the 3rd of 2026. Basically confirming what we reported on this particular broadcast and this development. And it reads, on Thursday, July the 2nd, 2026, the government was notified that Honorable Richard Frederick, Minister for Housing, Local Government and Urban Renewal, had been detained for questioning as part of an ongoing matter subsequently released. As this remains an active process, we will not comment on issues that may prejudice or interfere with any lawful process. The government reaffirms its respect for the independence of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and the rule of law. We remain committed to ensuring that all lawful processes proceed without interference and in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of St. Lucia. The government remains committed to transparency, accountability, and keeping the public appropriately informed as official information becomes available. Making reference there, of course, to an investigation by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, and the target is the government minister, Mr. Richard Frederick, in a particular matter, and that matter has not been fully disclosed or officially disclosed to members of the St. Lucian public. For those of you who taken umbrage and who have written on social media, taken issue with why discuss this particular matter, well, it does not involve a public figure. It involves a public official. And when you're in a situation where you're discussing issues that are controversial, that involves the police, where there are several issues that warrant clarification and explanation, it involves allegedly state resources, it is our business. And we want to know. We want to understand it. As members of the Board of Directors of St. Lucia, we are due some kind of statement. As shareholders, we are due explanation. So let's get this out of the way. If anybody calls this program and say, we are meddling in anybody's private affairs, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing at all. And there are several individuals who have been involved in things of a salacious nature, and we have not discussed it on NewsSpin. And it's deliberately so. It is not our business. It's not my business. It is not your business. And there are instances where those people must account to their family. Wives, husbands, children, mother, father, etc. So in this particular matter, particularly involving state resources, checks being given to individuals, and we are seeing those checks being exposed, being advertised on social media. There are questions to be asked. And as has been done over the last few days, and you'll be hearing a bit of it, the minister with responsibility for finance, 6th General Philip J. Pierre, owes us an explanation. Why? Among other things, we have too many people who are poor, who are indigent, who are crying out for financial assistance from friends and family members and from the state, and in the case of the latter, They're being told ever so often, we cannot assist you. And we like to use that phrase about limited financial resources. Small country. We have limited financial resources. We can't help everyone who is in need. We hear that. And I think most people accept it. They suffer in silence, but yet still they come to the realization that the state cannot always intervene on their behalf, can never always provide them with some level of subsistence. But when things that are happening and you have checks being issued for $1,800 and $400 and $600 here and there, you ask questions. You want to know. And I think if you're sufficiently reasonable and you're not a color fool, you'll not reach conclusions. But you want somebody to clarify certain issues. And that's where the Prime Minister of St. Lucia comes in, because we want an accounting of state resources. More than that, if he does not want to account to us, the citizens of St. Lucia, because there are instances when prime ministers, government ministers, and state officials believe it's not our business to explain certain things to us. But very often, because of the nature of government, and when you're talking about fiscal packages and a budget, national budget, and getting resources from taxpayers, and you get resources and grants from foreign entities, foreign agencies, and the government of Taiwan and Canada and CEDA, and when they were in existence, USAID, etc., and the EU. You're talking about accounting to taxpayers who are not from St. Lucia, but who are from overseas, and would take certain things seriously, including the UK. Those people are making some serious sacrifices. When the governments provide other nations considered to be poor and cannot fend for themselves economically, they're being provided handouts, donations. If you want to be more sophisticated, they're called grants. And therefore, our governments must provide them with some kind of explanation. The Taiwanese have been very, very generous to us in St. Lucia with their resources. And we have to account. There have been so many instances in the past when people were accused of mishandling Taiwanese funds. And SSDF is a very important government-run entity. And they're there to alleviate poverty, provide assistance to marginalized people, people who can't fend for themselves, so that increasingly those people who are poor and indigent can graduate to another level. They'll be able to fend for themselves. So we don't want to abuse the resources that are within the coffers of the St. Lucia Social Development Fund. And like the NCA a few years ago, now the SSDF is under the microscope. And also, it is losing its luster, this pride it had, this shine. I read on Facebook, people are now saying the St. Lucia Sex Development Fund. Imagine that. I did not coin this. read it somewhere on Facebook. So you need to bring some dignity, some class to this organization, because it was set up, it had a mandate to do a number of things, including alleviate the poverty that is rife among a section of the St. Lucian society. And therefore, calls are being made for there to be an audit. And that is not asking too much of the government of St. Lucia. Considering all that is out there, verified or not, the only way you can get clarity is if there is an audit. The National Conservation Authority that I made reference to was once in the spotlight, because there's some controversy involving the misuse of funds. And this occurred between 2001 and 2005, culminating in an official full-scale management audit, an inquiry report published in March of 2005. And remember, one particular individual who appeared before the commissioners, gave evidence, testified, said that the particular individual was using the funds allocated to the NCA as if it were that individual's kitchen garden. The individual's kitchen garden. Every now and then you go there, you harvest a couple things. Every now and then. So, let me take you back to 16 years ago. We had a report that was aired on DBS television making reference to funds that were donated to the St. Lucia Social Development Fund. $1.7 million. And this was all over the media. The coffers of the St. Lucia Social Development Fund, SSDF, are now in a better position to finance a number of local community projects. This is largely due to a European Union $1.7 million check presentation to the fund yesterday. DBS's Don Nicholas reports.
The SSDF is an amalgamation of the Poverty Reduction and the Basic Needs Trust funds. The Development Fund had submitted a bid under the theme Productivity for Community-Based Development Planning. That program targets the 10 poorest communities in St. Lucia, and various individual projects will be undertaken to assist these communities.
We're all aware that a lot of these communities were once vibrant in terms of having a thriving banana industry. And since the demise or the decline of that industry, a lot of them have seen some of the worst times. And it has also filtered into the urban areas as well as people move out to try and get jobs.
SSDF officials also emphasized the need to sustain past projects.
Approximately 18 million at one time. We said we have implemented projects totaling that amount. We've had a number of community interventions, capacity building, training, and what have you, and we have worked together with our social partners in implementing those projects.
Certain flexibility, but it also increases the responsibility, your responsibility, and of your staff, to ensure that the interventions are relevant, targeted, efficient, and sustainable.
Social Transformation Minister Leonard Mortout was very grateful to the European Union.
I want to, first of all, thank the European Union for their continued support to us in various forms, various ways, on this occasion through the SFA 2006. I want to congratulate the SSDF on having won that bid.
European Union officials say it's one thing to access the fund, but quite another to ensure that the good work done through those funds continue.
That report filed some 16 years ago. So we hope the Prime Minister will do the right thing, ensure that there is an audit into how the funds of the SSDF are being distributed, utilized for the well-being of the people of St. Lucia. It is a requirement, I'm sure, that will be appreciated by all right-thinking solutions, particularly those who are not colorfuls. An attorney sent me a WhatsApp message earlier on. Let me go through it. And it says there, Tim, there is a fundamental rule in governance that we must not forget. Government ministers are held to a higher public standard than ordinary citizens, and the ultimate responsibility for their conduct stops at the desk of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the one who handpicked and appointed Minister Richard Frederick to sit in his cabinet, one of the highest, most revered offices in the land. Because the Prime Minister granted him this mantle of state authority, the Prime Minister cannot simply treat this as a private matter. Public figures forfeit a certain degree of privacy when their personal conduct threatens to diminish the dignity of the state office they occupy. Recent explicit and compromised photographs circulating widely on social media have brought the office of a government minister into serious disrepute. At the very least, St. Lucians deserve an official acknowledgement from the head of government regarding these lewd acts. The Prime Minister owes the public a clear account on whether this behavior aligns with the ethical standards expected of his cabinet. Standing silent sends a dangerous message that the highest office in our country is indifferent to basic public decency and institutional decorum. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have another message from that same individual which reads, there appears to be two elements regarding the matter with the minister. The minister confirmed his detention by the police on Thursday and the confiscation of his phone pending police investigations against him. The other aspect appears to relate to the use of state funds, in particular funds from the SSDF. If this is the case, then the Prime Minister needs to account to the public and clarify whether the use of state funds has been compromised in this matter. It is also significant to know who exactly contributes to the SSDF fund and how are payments from that fund authorized. The St. Lucia Social Development Fund is funded by a combination of international and regional grants, soft loans, and contributions from local government and private entities. Its primary benefactors and donors include primary institutional and international donors, Caribbean Development Bank, a major funding source through its Continuing Basic Needs Trust Fund, BNTF program, which supports direct poverty reduction in areas like infrastructure and human resource development. The government of St. Lucia provides vital counterpart funding and manages core social safety net allocations. The EU has granted millions in funding to the SSDF for targeted rural poverty reduction and community-based development planning. The government of Taiwan provides recurring grants and developmental funding for various community enhancement projects across the island. Canadian International Development Agency, CIDA, partners with and channels resources to the SSDF via the CDB. Local corporate and private partners, St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, LUCELEC, frequently donates to SSDF initiatives including the Social Assistance Fund and youth outreach programs like Our Boys Matter. BOSL contributes financial support for various social programs and youth retreats. Other corporate sponsors, local businesses such as Massey Stores, frequently donate supplies and refreshments for community outreach and youth program, according to a WhatsApp message. Let's open the line to take your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And over to you, Jante. Good afternoon as well. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, Tim, we live in a time when I don't feel confident to recommend the police to anyone. speaking from experience. PJP will claim that he believes in independence of the judiciary, but he went to Ernest's court case to ensure that justice was done. The Commissioner of Police is behaving more like a politician than a Commissioner of Police. On Facebook, our first comment reads, "Keep your eyes on the prize. They're trying to distract you with two national queens. Honorable my foot." We have another comment here saying, "How can that be a fair process with RF in a position of power? So if it's me, they're arresting me. As it's a minister, they detained him." Tina is 100% correct. Stay focused. A few comments are reading, "And they will defend him. It's AI, they're already saying." Tim, I heard of a CEO who was put on administrative leave following a pending investigation. Why are they not doing the same with this new case? The only explanation you all will get is more disrespect. Some news spinners here saying, "Remember they campaigned on the poor people of this country. Labour wants to say what people should discuss or should not discuss, but they are in everybody's business. Tim, he will come and say that the man is a big man and he will not put himself in that." We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, "All those monies being squandered, like a Johnny with a heart condition who is a student at one of our secondary schools. I thought our children are the future of our country. As usual, fundraising and GoFundMes. We won't be getting any explanation from the PM. This is why these big countries' citizens have asked that their tax dollars stop being used for grants for third world countries." We have another comment here saying, "RF should resign or be relieved of his ministerial responsibilities. We don't know if the checks were AI generated. We don't have evidence, and is that enough evidence for a judge to sit on, and the excuses upon excuses we're hearing from the masses of the St. Lucia Labour Party. But the question, if you ask them, if this situation was happening under the UWP, would you be on the defensive side like you are now?"
Thanks so much, Shanti, for that update. Let's see if we can take some of your calls now. Once again, at 452-2979, 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. We have a call online. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to Janti.
Good afternoon.
And your listeners. Tim, this is a very clear-cut case of this SSDF matter. And I believe that the first statement from the Prime Minister, which is what I expected, is nothing but, just avoiding the issue. This is a Prime Minister who right now has a dilemma. And the dilemma is, he knows what the right thing is to do. The right thing is to relieve Minister Frederick of his ministerial responsibilities while this matter is being investigated. Because this is a criminal matter. This isn't just a civic matter. This is a criminal matter. But he knows that politically...
What is a criminal matter, caller? What exactly?
The first allegation that the police are investigating, that they have not spoken about.
Well, I mean,
the allegation,
caller, it's for the police. It's for the police to make that determination on the basis of what evidence. Hold on. What evidence they have?
What I'm saying is the allegation, the complaint, the complainant made a complaint. It is based on that complaint that the police are carrying out an investigation.
Yes.
Okay. And the complaint is of statutory rape. Is of having sex with a young woman who was 15 years old at the time.
I've not heard the police make that statement. Whatever you said there. Well, no, hold on. I'm just saying to you. The police have not said. The police have said that they're investigating. Okay, they're looking into a particular matter, but they have not said what. So we have to be extremely careful.
Absolutely, but the complainant has spoken.
Where?
And that's why I'm saying the complainant has spoken.
Where?
The complainant has spoken in several forums.
No.
The complainant has spoken over the phone. They have spoken publicly on social media.
We don't know
and
that.
The complainant has said.
We don't know.
complaint,
Hold on,
maybe you're
caller.
not aware of it.
Hold on, caller. Hold on. We cannot use this as a fact because we don't know if it is admissible. And also, there's a very sensitive issue. And maybe the complainant would have spoken to those in authority, the police, etc. And I am certainly not privy to what was said. So I think we should leave. Leave those out. Leave those out, sir. Leave those out because they cannot be verified.
You have provoked that answer with your question. You asked me. You forced me to answer. Because I said the SSDF matter is a very simple matter. That's what I started off with. But you asked me to go into another area, which was what was the complaint, and I know what the complaint is, so
Yes.
I responded.
I am saying to you that
Okay.
you know, but as the host of the program, I am not aware. So we have to be extremely careful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go back to the matter which I started off with. Tim, do you know who is the line minister for the SSDF?
Miss Hippolyte, Emma Hippolyte.
Right. And do you know that the Prime Minister in the last assignment of ministerial portfolios assigned himself community development and people empowerment?
I don't think it was. It wasn't community development. It was people empowerment.
Well, community project, the community development project, or the CDP program, whatever that acronym stands for, is for both of those items, and it is through both of these activities or those ministries or departments that the SSDF reaches a majority of its resources into the communities through things like the CDP projects, the T-Canal, quote unquote, the STEP program, and a number of these other programs, which are all done through those two departments. So in other words, the Prime Minister, besides being Minister of Finance and the Minister overall responsible for all the portfolios, has a direct responsibility in the SSDF. So much so that the Director of Finance, Mr. Imran Williams, is the Deputy Chair or Vice Chairman of the SSDF. Okay? Not only that, I'll draw your memory back to a letter that was written, first, the Leader of the Opposition's contribution in the House during the budget debate, and afterwards, and then also in a letter which has been made public to the Director of Finance, which was written in May, where he was questioning I think about $100 million that was transferred from the CIP.
Yes.
And some to infrastructure, and the rest to social equity or community development, however it's termed.
Social transformation.
Right before the election. Social transformation. Right before the elections. And so he was asking those questions. I'll just let you know that the Director of Finance have not yet responded, but the Prime Minister responded by only confirming that the amount that the Leader of the Opposition had stated was incorrect, and it was $100 million. This gentleman, Mr. Imran Williams, the Director of Finance, is also, Tim, the Chairman of the National Economic Fund. That is the vehicle via which monies transferred from the CIP would go to institutions like the SSDF, and then the SSDF would have to apply for those monies. Tim, isn't it strange that the Director of Finance has not answered those questions, and that monies have been transferred into this same organization that is in our discussion today, and nothing to say about what projects it funded, who these monies would be going to, whether the public was informed of that and that you could apply for these monies, that there were programs that these things went into the SSDF. Today, Tim, we've got a minister, as per the complainant, as alleged by the complainant, who is handing checks to a lady in Castries, when the SSDF's office is less than 15 minutes drive away. That they're handing checks with no accompanying paperwork, no supporting documentation for signatures to show receipt of checks, from a minister who has no statutory authority in that ministry or that organization, that statutory body, when it's Mrs. Emma Hippolyte and the Prime Minister. And so why is this happening? The Prime Minister is responsible because ultimately he's the Minister of Finance. And we're talking about lots of money, Tim. We're not talking about a couple $1,000. We're talking about $1 million that went from the CIP, and some of that, a lot of that went into social transformation, which is essentially the SSDF. And now we are seeing that how these monies are being spent. These monies are just being handed out to people in St. Lucia. And that accountability issue is very important, Tim. And it is based on that I'm saying the Prime Minister should relieve the minister of his ministerial duties, because we have to find out how he got those checks. The executive director, Mr. Vitrin, should be relieved of his duties as the executive director, because there are rules and regulations, checks and balances, financial procedures in institutions like these government agencies, like any other business. And all of this has been transgressed, and it's been trampled upon in these transactions. We have a board of directors who also cannot say they don't know. It is their responsibility, the fiduciary responsibility, to know what's going on. And so it is important that the Prime Minister allays the fears of St. Lucians like myself, that this is just going to be like any other thing. This isn't just like the CIP or the $80 million that went to the NLA or any of those issues, or even the NCA team. This is more egregious than this, because a lot of money went into that institution, and there has been no financial accounting, no independent audit carried out on this institution for about 5 years, Tim. Why? Is it the modus operandi of this government that the CIP independent audits are delayed? Every year they're delayed. That the NLA that got a loan for $80 million, never accounted for how this money was spent, has not tabled any audited accounts to the Parliament for more than 3 years. Tim, there is a pattern here. And when there's a pattern, something stinks. And now what happened is a little bit of diarrhea escaped somebody's pants, and we're now seeing those checks. We're getting to know what's going on. And the Prime Minister needs to move, because this is not good for St. Lucia. We can put at risk these other governments who are supporting and contributing and granting their monies, their taxpayers' monies, to us to aid our vulnerable people. And this is how we are managing it, Tim. These people may withhold the monies that they're bringing to us, they're helping us with. And so we cannot get the entire country to be at risk to save the reputation or the honor of a minister who has been behavior unbecoming to his office. And so, like it would happen in any other country, this man needs to step aside while we investigate.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. My mic seemed to be a little bit low, Mr. Producer. Maybe we can increase it a bit. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Continuing on Facebook, we have another comment saying, AI checks. Let the police do their job, says Piet. That's what I gathered from his silence. They were angry when NIC funds were used to give Cabot a loan, but they are seeing no problem with a man using SSDF funds for his own business. We have another comment saying, all the NewsSpin Marcos are logged into the most monitored talk show and carefully listening so that they can form their own conclusions at the Marcos social media meeting. We're voting for you, boss. The people are all over social media, chirps. We have a few commenters saying, my motto is, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, Makadi Chukum. No wonder PJP took issue with the banks requiring documents for opening accounts at the banks, because he knows the people to which these monies are given and wants to save it in the banks. But it's not an easy road at all.
So somebody who's supposed to be in the know just provided me with some information which says that the SSDF is the full responsibility of the island's Prime Minister. So it's the full responsibility of Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. All right, let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp message, but let's continue with the comments from the chat room.
Caller, if the PM ever does or says anything regarding RF's allegations, St. Lucia will be at war. Right now, the PM has to stay quiet. Some NewsSpinners are saying, if it is war, then so be it. Let it be a war. We need a war in St. Lucia to put things straight. What does I don't cross that line because I have 5 daughters? What do you comprehend from this statement? This is very sad that our people allow these kinds of things to happen. He needs to resign. Statutory is not a person. We have another comment here saying, well, his silence isn't helping, especially as chair of CARICOM and with the ongoing meeting happening along this bombshell. No independently audited SSDF accounts for several years. The executive director must be fired. And our final comment, no wonder the banks have been questioning those $1,000 government checks.
Thank you so much. And once again, somebody says that Emma Hippolyte no longer has jurisdiction over the SSDF. It was taken away from the Ministry of Equity at the last dispensation following the establishment of the new ministry portfolios. It's now fully under the Prime Minister's supervision. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. More of your calls and your WhatsApp messages still to come, along with updates by Janté. Stay with us.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbouté at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow, hein. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tank, moi ni glow, mais money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pompe yo c'est Léo. Pompe ça c'est major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten mois actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pompe glo Léo en de couleur neuf, orange et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452-0763.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurances accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
Turn up the vibes with Flow! Flow is turning up the vibes with 400 rewards this carnival season. Sign up for postpaid, add it to your internet, and turn up your rewards. From free grocery vouchers and big handset discounts to free event tickets and costumes with the baddest bands. Flow customers are turning up 400 times. Sign up in store or visit discoverflow.co to claim your reward. Terms and conditions apply.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
An supposé, ça c'est dernier kwas de l'eau. Un temps cette lisi, tant ka wem ka vini pli long ek pli wed, ek sous de l'eau nou ka cheche. Ek la plia ka tobe pli fort ek pli te wib, ça ka dommage kay nou ek système glo nou. Mais nous sa changer ça. Nous sa conserver de l'eau ek protéger sous de l'eau nou. Chaque ti démarche nous point ça wede. Wasko ka travaille ensemble et puis agent pour manager sous l'eau et ka permettre pour assurer de l'eau en temps qui ka venir. Mais nous besoin si pauvre. Ensemble, nous sa protéger de l'eau nous, santé nous et ka assurer de l'eau pour l'autre génération. Un petit pas ça mène gros changement. On nous protéger de l'eau nous et la vie nous pour temps qui ka venir. Pour plus d'informations, visitez wascosandlucia.com.
The official Carnival Sunday Lime is back. Let's take you to Bacchanal Beach. Every Sunday until July 5th on the Vigi beachfront. Good vibes, drink specials, and live entertainment. Also your chance to register with Island Tribe for Carnival 2026. Bacchanal Beach, the official Carnival Sunday Lime. Every Sunday until July 5th on the Vigi beachfront. Bacchanal Beach is sponsored by P-Tour Beer, Power 97.9 FM, and the Carnival Planning and Management Agency.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and my microphone is working a lot better now. We continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. I'd like to remind you that there is a planned outage scheduled for Tuesday, July the 7th, 2026, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 in the afternoon at Fort-Manger, affecting Fort-Manger and La Croix-Mengo, including major customers, La Croix-Mengo SDA Church, La Croix-Mengo Combined School, also La Monix, and the Promise Supermarket. The interruption of service is necessary to allow Low Select to undertake system improvements and pole and line maintenance. Low Select regrets an inconvenience to their customers. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, we have a WhatsApp message to go through. Okay, what have you written there that I can read on the air? Okay, let's see there. Let's see. Please bear with me, trying to go through this one. Tim, the minister leaving UWP to join the SLP is the equivalent of cancer leaving one part of your body and making its way to another. In the end, it will destroy you unless completely removed. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message. Let Wasco know that we have not received water in Lomba, Lahore for over 2 weeks now. Please, Wasco, we need water. Again, that is according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message. I believe the entire board of the SSDF should be relieved of their duties. These funds are supposed to be reaching the poorest and most vulnerable people in our country. Instead, it appears that those who are already well off are benefiting while those in genuine need continue to struggle. I live in V4 and I've had to get used to saying no to people asking me for assistance, because if I give to everyone who needed help, I wouldn't have enough left to feed myself, pay my bills, or support my family. That alone speaks to the serious poverty many people are facing and raises questions about whether these funds are reaching their intended beneficiaries, according to a WhatsApp message. Turn our attention now to a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon. You guys not on YouTube today?
We're supposed to be on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
But you know what, Timothy? Lucia has got to be the cleanest country in the world. Wouldn't you agree?
Why?
Because everybody washing. On the block they washing, the gun runners washing, the drug pushers washing, on CIP they washing, SSDF they washing, c'est pour ça Wasco Pani Glow, nous ka lave twop. The PM say move the banks out the way, 'cause they ain't gonna stop. Have a good day, Timothy.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody tells me that this one will go viral. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. I'm going to say I'm watching and listening via YouTube. It is working. All right. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And somebody says the situation, the minister's situation, the young didn't follow the code, no strings attached. Then what's next? Greed only. Another WhatsApp message. To be honest, that switching from the parties by the MP should not be accepted, but some of them come up with good whatever. What's your take on that one? Let's see if we have some more of your messages. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Another WhatsApp message, and somebody has just written there, Tim, can you play this song, Two People Running the Country? Why should we play this one? We have two people running the country. I think we have only one individual at the helm of the government. Somebody says that they gave us two queens to distract us. Some more messages. Let's see. Tim, one of your callers is correct. That's how monies need to be accounted for. And another WhatsApp message. Hi Tim, I saw the checks that were circulating. It's not AI. It was deposited at a particular credit union. They are not fake checks. Again, that is according to a WhatsApp message. Let me turn my attention to you, Jante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, corruption is running rampant in the country, but all they can say is the mood is red. The CIP report has still not been signed off by the auditors, so that report is now like toilet paper. Richard needs to resign. Protecting the victory is quite expensive. Another YouTube comment here saying investigations are ongoing. I think we should all wait before pointing fingers. It could be dangerous. Let's wait to see where this goes. SLP supporters don't care what happens to St. Lucia as long as they keep getting their handouts. On Facebook, our first comment reads, I want these donor agencies to punish these people by withholding their funds. The PM is covering himself. This is the reason for his silence. If we don't remove this government, we are finished. We have another comment here saying, Are you sure that the prominent people in society rather remain quiet, but it always blows out in their faces for staying quiet? St. Lucia is divided like never before. PJP can't fix it, but he's trying to put CARICOM together. Tim, this could never be what the PM was talking about, the $1,000 checks. Another comment here reading, it could be because they were far from your typical checks other than civilians showed up with. That's enough to raise questions from the bank. And our final comment so far, a cabinet minister with no statutory role in SSDF was personally handling its checks, calling women to collect them from him rather than from the SSDF's own office, and is now faced with public scrutiny, reaching for the language of victimhood. This is not an accountability response. This is a performance.
Thank you so much, Shanti. Let's see if you have another WhatsApp message. Well, we'll see if you have a call on the online. Somebody says, hi, Tim. If the allegations surrounding the SSDF and the government minister are true, then every taxpayer in the donor countries that helped fund this agency deserves answers. These were not political campaign funds. They were public funds provided by foreign governments to support development, strengthen institutions, and improve the lives of our people. If those funds were diverted or misused for political purposes, it would represent a profound breach of public trust and could undermine confidence in future international assistance. Equally troubling is what this episode appears to reveal about our collective response to allegations involving women and children. Some of the public reaction raises difficult questions about the values we uphold and the standards we are willing to accept. A society is judged not only by how it celebrates its achievements, but by how it protects its most vulnerable and insists on accountability when serious allegations arise. If these allegations are ultimately substantiated, our international partners will have every reason to reassess how the assistance is administered. Should donor confidence be lost, it will not be politicians who suffer the greatest consequences. It will be the vulnerable women, children, families, and communities who depend on programs supported by those funds. That would be a tragic outcome, one brought about not by the donors themselves, but by the actions of those entrusted with safeguarding the public interest. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Somebody says that Kenny had his reasons. Think about this for a second. Another WhatsApp message. I'm curious to know what is the genesis of this scandal. What really prompted this whole thing being made public? Another WhatsApp message, and this one reads, Tim, the Prime Minister is scared to relieve Mr. Richard Frederick from his duties. He doesn't want to be held responsible. Okay, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your messages, and this one reads, Good day. I'm a resident of Plateau Babuno and need to let Wasco know that we are paying for a service that we are not getting. It's unfair to us. We need water in our lines. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. Don't the judges know that they should have a tiebreaker question between the two queens? It makes me wonder if that show was judged by preference. Anyway, St. Lucia made history, 2 queens. Congratulations to Miss Republic Bank. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. Another person says there, Tim, please ask Wasco to send water to Plateau. It's been 2 weeks without water and it is very frustrating. Okay, some of your WhatsApp messages. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. On the lighter side, St. Lucian politics is something else. Yesterday, everybody was arguing over EC $700. Today, the conversation has moved to EC $1,500. At this rate, inflation isn't just affecting groceries, it seems to be affecting political drama too. If you know, you know. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Haiti, my question is, how did the minister get control of the checks? Where is the moral. If it was on the opposite member, it would be AI. The question is how. Some more of your messages to go through. If it was another minister, like Minister so-and-so and another minister, he would have dismissed them already, and he would be boasting. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says there, Tim, Kenny or Tony knows about what whole hoopla is. He was once a victim. Okay. Let's see if we could go through some more of your messages. Okay, let's take a call instead. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Timothy, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon
Tim,
to you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, girl, good afternoon.
Janté.
Good afternoon.
Tim, now the Prime Minister, now that former Prime Minister, the great man, the greatest leader in the planet, Sir Adam Michael Shastney, is not there. Your lady is in town, Madam Mia Motley. I want you, Tim, to ask her, you, Tim, and ask the rest of the delegates, what would they do with Richard Frederick? I go a little further. I would like to see you interview her on Newsmaker Live. Bring a real Prime Minister. Since we last had one in the great man, Sir Adam Michael Shastney, bring a real Prime Minister to your show. And stop bringing garbage. Okay? Let me say this to you, Tim. Why is that? Whenever SFP doing the garbage, you are wait on saying both parties do it too. Why is that? Whenever SLP doing the garbage, the Mongoose gang doing the garbage, you and Rick Wayne others talking about both parties do it too. Why is that? Why you look about and say, well, SFP doing this, SFP doing that, oh, both parties do it too? You're gonna stop doing that nonsense, man. But I ain't called for that. I want you to interview Madam Mia Motley, a real Prime Minister, Tim. And you're not a reporter, you're a journalist. You're a journalist. Do that for me, please. That's all I want you to do. Because I know, you know, and the world know, Richard Frederick would be out long time. Tim, for the record, under the belt of Madam Mia Motley, someone was accused of something a few years ago. I think it's rape or something. May I say you Mia did? Madam Mia Motley did? I would like your resignation on my desk. I would like your resignation on my desk, and that's it. And no Bajans get up and say, oh, the guy, she's wrong for doing this, or wrong for doing that. Solutions with his AI and Richard Frederick. Richard Frederick has been garbage for all his life. So Michael Shastney, father of the great man, Sir Alan Michael Shastney.
Caller, let's not call people, call people garbage. All right, let's not do that.
Tim, so Michael Shastney said, I heard it said that one day, a few years ago, anyone that touches Richard Frederick, they'll be very sorry. Any party that takes it will be very, very sorry. We have a man on that's very, very arrogant. He thinks he is the Gong. Tim, most countries, the place will be upside down long time. Long time, Tim. You think bring me up to the show, man. Go interview her. She's in St. Lucia. Go and interview the other prime ministers too. It's not St. Lucia with a low IQ that accept garbage. And this and that, and the police commissioner saying this and that, we didn't arrest him, we detain him, all that kind of nonsense. If it was me, they say he was arrested. He was arrested. Who the hell is Richard Frederick? Time to put this man to his knees, man. Time for this man to play some music. He did, listen to me. The man made, let me tell you something. We call it making bomb in St. Lucia. Cash for money, we call it making bomb. That's what we call it. That's what we call it in St. Lucia. Don't come and mix up the words with all kind of big words and kind of nonsense. That's what we call it In Barbados, they call it picking spears. We call it making bombs. You know that, Tim. Are you down the camera, Richard? But you really don't speak right. You're a nice guy. Nobody in the Mongoose gang is a nice guy. None of them. None of them. They're no good. They're all alike. All alike. You guys say move here and put here. They're all alike. It's from bad to worse to worse. You know why? Because whenever St. Lucia goes to the polls, they take things that they take garbage that they don't even want. None of these guys can be House Assembly in Barbados. None of them. None of them. Not even Pierre. And every day you're calling and Mr. Frederick, Pierre this and Pierre that. Bring Madam me and Martin to the show, man. Let's get some action. Let's get a real Prime Minister. It's only she and the great man, Sir Alan Michael Shasta, who's the greatest on the planet. Y'all don't even know when you'll have something good. Y'all don't even know when you'll have something good.
Okay, thank you.
Like a woman walking in slippers, and you take her and put in high heels.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Bermuda. When you're on, we're walking on eggshells, okay? So we have to be extremely careful. We have to tell you, thank you so much for your contribution on the broadcast. And my producer has lost it. He's laughing. Let's see if we have another call. As we say hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello? Hello? Hello, good afternoon. All right, I think we have lost that call. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Okay, call coming in. Hello, good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, Timothy, what I want to say.
Caller, the quality is not good at all. So I apologize to you. We can't continue with your contribution. Okay, I think from where you're calling from, the quality certainly is the quality is questionable. All right, so let's see if we could go through a WhatsApp message. Good day, Tim. Do you remember we had a similar situation with someone in Parliament? After they did all the investigation, he was dismissed and no longer worked with them. Now what happens to this one? PJP, you need to do further investigation because some of them are so unjust. We have another call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. All right, this call is reconnecting. All right, can't wait. Let's see if we can put another contribution on the air. In the meantime, let me go through our WhatsApp message. And please bear with me trying to access this one. And it says that when people are elected into government, we expect them to lead with moral behavior, integrity, etc. Here's the reason the title honorable is before their names. What I've seen circulating is in no way deserving of the title honorable. Mr. Prime Minister, we await your appropriate actions on this scandal. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message, and it reads, the question needs to be asked. What were the roles of the... Okay, I don't think I should be going through this one. I don't think it's appropriate to read at all. Another WhatsApp message. Okay, so many comments I just cannot read on the air. Somebody says that, Tim, my question is, how did Richard get control of the checks? Where is the moral? If it was on the opposite, it would be AI. Okay. Inquiring minds want to know why are those checks being circulating on social media. All right, let's take a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy. I'm hoping to be clear this time.
Yes, sir. A lot better.
Okay, very good. Timothy, what I wanted to say quickly, because most people keep saying how Richard getting hands on the check. And I don't think in the conversation there was anything saying he was handing over the check. And like he said, he tried to help. I'm not saying he's right, but we cannot give Richard any pass knowing him to spin things. So I think basically he recommended the lady to receive the check. So not because of that to give him reason to talk. He's still wrong is wrong, but I don't think he was handing out the check to her.
We shouldn't be passing judgment, because what we need is an audit. And an audit will take care of those things, okay? Because anything you say there is hearsay. You would have read it somewhere, you heard somebody repeat it, etc. So what we need...
just common sense.
No.
People keep saying
we need an audit. We need but we need an audit.
Okay, correct.
We need an audit. If we have an audit, that takes care of everything.
We'll know everything.
Yeah. We need an audit.
Take care, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message: when callers call the show, encourage them to not give maypui. They need to get straight to the point, so these people are listening. Do not make it a political issue, but an issue of accountability. We need to not like the party hacks. Let's speak on issues, not on politics. Forget labels, deal with the issues. We get more clarity and respect as a people. The ministers are clueless as to their disposition as politicians because we accept anything in the name of party. People understand that it's our job to critique so things can improve and persons can be edited to produce good and structured representation. Philip JPN needs to make more inclusive statements when he's addressing the nation. Remember, we are one people. We need both sides for proper representation. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Somebody says that too many solutions depend on handouts from politicians. This is why our country in this situation today. It's time the citizens of the country demand their lines to go fish for themselves. Solutions need jobs, not handouts, to keep people in poverty and allowing politicians to take advantage of them. This needs to stop ASAP. Still to come, more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages on this, the most monitored talk show in the world.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Every day, the pain is still there. Back, neck, shoulder, hip, chronic arthritis, pain down your leg to your toes, or heel pain when you put your foot on the ground. You've tried many things, but nothing works. Waiting will only make it worse. At La Clinique du Corps, we find the real cause of your pain using advanced MRI scans from head to toes with no radiation for more accurate results. Our specialist doctors provide faster diagnosis and effective treatment. Less pain, better movement, better life. All insurance is accepted. Call now before it gets worse. 451-6559, that's 451-6559, or WhatsApp 721-9950. WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique du Corps. Stop suffering. Start living.
We ready for the road. We ready for the road. We First National. Your next move bold. We ready for the road. We ready for the road. We First National. Your next move bold. Get ready for your next ride with the drive ahead from First National Bank. Enjoy up to 100% financing and rock bottom interest rates on new vehicle loans. Because we're not only here for you, we're driving ahead with you. For the road with First National Bank. Your next move bold. Visit one of our partner dealerships, any First National Bank branch, or firstnationalbankonline.com today. Promotion runs through November 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui peut ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outils ou ka servi pa vini moins ki 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça, c'était en commission hors de l'eau silette.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you. Keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Stop paying full price. With Flow, you can slash your bill in half. You heard right. Cut your mobile bill in half when you add mobile to internet. That's the most reliable Wi-Fi at home. Plus, all the data you need on the go. So don't wait. Double your connection and double your value for half the price. Add mobile to internet today. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tank, moi ni glow, me money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pomme yo c'est Léo. Pomme ça c'est major. I bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moi actuellement. Glo ka fante. Europa ni pomme glo Léo ada pour les nerfs, orange et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, why are powerful men always tied up in sex accusation scandals? According to a WhatsApp message. And another WhatsApp message, and this one reads, public office is a public trust. A government minister is expected to uphold not only the law, but also a standard of integrity, honesty, and moral leadership, because they represent the people and the nation. While private failings are not crimes in themselves, they can raise legitimate questions about judgment, character, and trustworthiness. If someone cannot remain faithful to the most solemn personal covenant they voluntarily entered into with their spouse, the public is entitled to ask whether that same commitment to faithfulness and accountability can be relied upon in public office. Whether resignation is appropriate ultimately depends on the circumstances, the impact on public confidence, and the standards expected by the government and electorate. In a healthy democracy, preserving public trust is often as important as avoiding legal wrongdoing. Both are equally important. It continues, the excuses that I've been hearing from the public in defense of the said minister makes me wonder whether we have lost all of our moral compass. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Since somebody says that, Tim, do you remember the song Bedroom Bully? Well, these are the kind of individuals we have to be aware of. And let's see, another one say, Tim, I see how this will play out already. This incident regarding the government minister will just go by and will not hear anything from it, almost like it never happened. In the next month or two, the people will forget about it, according to a WhatsApp message. Let me turn my attention to you, Shanti. What is happening in the chat rooms?
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, I just saw an article in the British newspaper, The Guardian, about water shortages in St. Lucia. but the SLP is there making deals with Arsenal. Mr. Tim, my final question for today will be, when will the people who are supposed to know better stand up and do the right things? Stanley Felix was asked to resign from being president of the Senate immediately. Another YouTube commenter is saying, no water, roads in a mess, the healthcare sector is the worst it has ever been. Violent crime is at a record level, but the mood is red. On Facebook, our first comment reads, is that why the PM asked the bank to stop questioning the people when they deposit their checks? How much money did the government give to the carnival this year? Labour's lied and they're still lying about Guy and Alan Chastney. We have another commenter saying, how much money was allocated to SSDF this time? RF needs to be fired immediately. Who waited when Guy and Shas were falsely accused? A few commenter reading, no, Alan, that's the problem, they say. But with Alan, that would be dealt with, no turning back. Tim, I really wish it was the UWP administration that was in power, because I know for a fact someone would be fired for sure. The SLP would be up in arms for the PM to step down. SLP can do no wrong and the UWP is always wrong no matter what they do. Richard's release is not vindication, and he and his PM does not answer questions sitting in front of the entire country. What was a cabinet minister doing with checks drawn for the SSDF? Handing them to citizens personally by phone with no receipt, no file, or no record. Some NewsSpinners are saying, did Richard and the SLP blame Shas for what happened to him? Because all they can say is Shas, Shas, Shas. Dissolve the current SSDF board, a board that allowed years to pass without a single audited account, and let the minister outside its own chain distribute its checks unsupervised, has forfeited any claim to continue overseeing this fund. RF gets fired by Shas, and now he's about to get fired by PJP. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, order a forensic audit for the fund, tracing every check, every disbursement, every dollar that moved through SSDF. Remove the executive director, someone responsible for this fund's day-to-day stewardship while it happened unsupervised. That office has failed on its most basic duty and should not be given the chance to fail twice. 2 police officers were demoted and transferred based on RF's advice. What's going on with that case? We have another comment here saying, relieve RF of his ministerial responsibilities, not as a verdict on his guilt, which the court alone will determine, but as the only honest response left to a PM who cannot credibly protect the public trust, while a cabinet minister is under active investigation and continues to sit at his cabinet table. We're beating around the bush when we know what it is. Another comment here saying, caller, the Barbadian mindset is more of a matured, unbiased, and justice for all mentality. I dare RF to come to the CARICOM summit. And our final comment, Shas is boss when it comes to firing ministers.
Thank you so much for that final update, Shantae. Do you know it is not on the first day you take the calabash to the river that it breaks? Sometimes it takes longer than you expect. Nonetheless, whatever time it breaks, it means that this is the time. We must be careful of our behavior. That is according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message, I went to the Grosley Polyclinic on Saturday, and like the nurses are not keeping nothing confidential. Look gossipy, and patients on a long wait. Some renovations of the buildings also entail some new staff. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one reads, St. Lucian should demand the resignation of the minister, but we all know our moral compass is almost non-existent. Shameful as a people. Another one says there, that's another WhatsApp message. Okay, all right, no, can't go through this one. Let's see if we have another message to go through. The PJP will get schooled in putting a character like RF in his cabinet. The Prime Minister needs to replace the minister, put on leave at least, or outright fire him. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. I saw a lady on Street Vibes was complaining about disability funds and money for the poor are taking a long time to reach the bank, sometimes for months. I hope this is not the same money that is being misused elsewhere. According to a WhatsApp message, let's see if we have some more. I don't think we have any more. Let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day, it reads, why should the SSDF clear the air? The NewsSpin question of the day, why should the SSDF clear the air? Why should the SSDF clear the air? The NewsSpin question of the day. And we turn our attention to what transpired over the weekend. The pageant, Carnival Queen pageant, which took place on Saturday. Historic, unprecedented. 2 individuals being crowned queen. Faith Edward of the SLTA and also Nayeli Lewis of the Bank of St. Lucia. Here is the announcement.
Your National Carnival Queen for 2026. With a total of 539.8 points. We would like to call on not 1, but 2 contestants this evening. We call on Faith Edward, Miss Export, Miss St. Lucia Tourism Authority. And your second National Carnival Queen for 2026, Nayeli Lewis, Miss Bank of St. Lucia. In the making, 2 National Carnival Queens 2026. 2 contestants being crowned for the 72nd National Carnival Queen pageant. Congratulations to Faith Edward
and Nayeli Lewis.
Miss St. Lucia Tourism Authority and Miss Bank of St. Lucia are your 2026 National Carnival Queens.
2 Carnival Queens for 2026. And finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, UN Chief warns that AI is developing faster than rules can keep up. The NewsSpin news of the day, UN Chief warns that AI is developing faster than rules can keep up. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.